So if you could genetically alter yourself to have a superpower or something, what would it be?
I would want wings so I could fly to school every morning.
That would be the only reason you'd want wings, just to get to school?
Well, I mean, I don't like having to sit in traffic when I know I'm about to be late. It's just annoying. And if I could just, get to school like that, that'd be a lot easier.
Like, you'd be able to fly other places as well.
Where?
Not just school.
I can ride a bike. Where else would I need to go?
I have no idea.
Just, fly to Japan.
Don't know. It's one of those, invisibility would be cool, but can you genetically do that? I mean, I don't feel like you can because there's nothing that's really invisible except air. And you can't really change yourself to air.
Yeah.
What about, changing yourself into a big suit that somebody can crawl inside of you and use you as kind of like a mech?
I don't want to be used. I'm my own person. No. Does not. Five Nights at Freddy's. No, thank you. I don't want to be a suit or in a suit. They're uncomfortable anyways.
I asked that because today we're going to be talking about Gleipnir.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to it.
Hey, we've got a tale to tell where two hearts collide. In this anime spell, father and daughter sharing dreams in the world of Venga. Nothing's as it seems. We've had a half in the journey, side by side, laughs and adventures we won't hide. Join the ride in this anime tonight. We found a half shining bright.
Welcome to Weeb and a Half, the podcast where a dad and a daughter bond over anime, argue about everything from plot twists to favorite characters, and prove that watching anime together is actually the best kind of family time. And sometimes it's doing episodes over because you recorded in a place that doesn't sound too good.
Oh my god. So much time wasted.
It was 35 minutes, so it
35 minutes I could have been playing video games or watching more anime. That's a whole episode of Anime Man.
This episode, we're going over Gleipnir, which is probably an episode most of y'all.
You didn't say our names. They don't know who we are.
Oh, well then, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dexi.
And like we said, you're listening to Weeb and a Half. So we're going over Gleipnir, which is a anime that most of y'all have probably never heard of. It is a very obscure one because, well, it's a very interesting or different idea. And what it is, Suichi, a normal high school student, discovers that he can turn into a dog suit.
Mm-hmm.
Then he meets up with a girl named Claire who discovers that there's a zipper on the back, and if it's open, people can crawl inside him and control him like a huge mech.
Mm-hmm.
And when he turns into the dog mascot, he's got super strength and this very big, powerful gun.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, though, with Claire, she realizes that, she tells him that she's searching for her missing sister. And
always missing, I swear.
Except the thing is, she's looking for her, and that her sister, Elena, has terrifying powers and a deep connection to this whole weird supernatural mystery thing that's going on, because Shuichi doesn't know why he can change into this monster. They go, and it's all based off of a survival game thing where they're trying to collect coins for this alien. And the first person to reach 100 coins is apparently supposed to become a god. There is a manga. And
is there a limit to how many coins there are, though?
No, I don't know if they ever said how many. It's just, I know if you collect 100 of them, you win the big prize.
Oh, that sounds terrifying but cool at the same time. I wouldn't want to have all that responsibility. I bet they just didn't actually put 100 out there, just people would start collecting them just to get 100 to become a god, and they never got to.
Yeah, and there's, like I said, it's a survival game one, so there's lots of people out there killing each other for these coins, and they're all searching, and there's all these groups of people finding coins, so they'll band together, and you have I guess you say, good guys, the ones that are trying to find them, not necessarily to become stronger themselves, but so other people can't get them. And then you have these groups that are literally just going around killing everybody trying to get these coins. It's got some pretty dark stuff in it, just how deep it goes into the emotional aspect of all these things. The tone of it is more of it's a battle anime. I mean, there's lots of fighting and stuff going in, but it's also like a psychological thriller because there's all these things going on. You don't know what, or not necessarily what, but you don't know why all these things are happening. It's pretty crazy. With the manga, it actually goes a lot longer and goes more in depth into the story, and the characters are a little bit more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
The anime only went for one season, so it felt like they were trying to cram everything in there and they didn't get to the end.
Yeah.
I've watched both. I mean, I read all of them and I also watched it. I liked the manga a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of what they refer to as body horror because all these people can transform into different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one person that their head turns into a camera, like a video camera, and they can record things and zoom in. And
like that's what Mitsuba from Hanako would like.
There's this one
Giant
girl
camera.
who her power is she ties a string around your neck and you promise to her that you'll never lie.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, or reveal a secret, that's what it is. If you reveal a secret, the string disappears once it's around your neck. But once you reveal a secret, it tightens up and will cut your head off.
Why?
I don't know.
So what happens if you don't tell?
Well, then you stay alive. And a lot of people just turn into big crazy monsters. You know how anime loves their transformations on characters.
Sailor Moon has like half the episode.
Exactly.
She's like moon power makeup, and you have like all the other ones have to do it too. So
this is not the case for Shuichi. Like it is very like, oh, he's a mascot now. Like he just it'll show a scene off, away from him, and when it cuts back to him, there he is.
Yeah.
And Claire will she wears a bathing suit underneath her clothes and she strips down to the bathing suit and climbs in because she can control him better that way.
I guess it would get hot if you weren't wearing a bathing suit, but it would rub your skin raw too, though.
Some of them look kind of like Titans, or
wait,
just
like
weird.
What kind of Titan? Like Attack on Titan Titans, or like like the Colossal Titan, the big one that looks like a giant muscle.
Yeah, and it's a deeper thing on. When you get into it on, let people in, it's kind of on the nose, but the story in the books it reveals a lot more, and it actually, you realize, oh man, this is kind of crazy. Whereas the anime tries to do a lot of that stuff. It tries to fit some of that in, and they change some things around, and it just doesn't end up working like the manga does.
Mm-hmm.
The two main characters, there's Shuichi, the one who turns into the mascot, I guess, for like a big mascot costume. And then there's Claire, who is the one who controls him. The big difference is Shuichi feels like every time he changes, he loses his humanity. He doesn't want to be violent. He doesn't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where Claire comes in at, because with Claire, she has no problems. Like the first time they kill someone is because she shoots him. He's freaking out because he's like, don't do it. And she just has no problem. She is the anti-hero of the story because they're both trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And she's just a lot more violent about it. And like I mentioned, there's the coins and the aliens. And it turns out, like I said, I don't think they mention it in the anime, but in the manga, it turns out the coins are actually like alien DNA. And if you find them, you take them to this one alien, and there's a vending machine, and you put it in the vending machine, and it spits out a can of soda or something.
Yeah.
And you pretty much make a wish, and you drink it, and it changes you, but it actually changes you on a molecular level.
Huh.
And
is that the only type of wish you can make, or?
Yeah, it kind of has to be like, what kind of person do you want to be?
So you can't just wish for $1,000?
No.
Oh, darn it.
Well, and the crazy part is Shuichi doesn't even remember doing it. And as the story progresses, you learn he isn't. It's actually someone else has gotten coins and has kind of made the wish on his behalf.
Honestly, I probably would have done it without even thinking and just drinking the soda. I wish I had long hair. I didn't even realize it.
This girl, Claire, that he just met, it turns out that they knew each other. There's a whole storyline of this group of friends and what happened between two girls.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them changing things around for their quote unquote protection. And then when they start realizing like their parents are gone, but he never realizes it. It's only until Claire's over at his house and is all like, where are your parents? And he's like, oh, they always work late. And then it's like, realize he hadn't seen them in like months.
How do you just forget that they're just like not there?
That's the thing. He doesn't realize that they're not there. He thinks they're just like missing each other. Like they're coming home after he's gone to bed or things like that. He's never actually
like thought about it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's part of the wish. I mean, well, what the girl did to change his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't realize it because Elena is the girl who did it all. And like is she
related to Claire, isn't she?
Yeah, she's Claire's sister. Claire doesn't remember. I mean, well, Claire remembers having a sister, but she doesn't remember what all happened, like, because their parents are gone too. The music for it is really cool. It's like techno, but it's almost like carnival-y to where it makes it like a very distorted reality feel to it.
Yeah, is it kind of like Papelli Magica Magica, or however you say the name? Like how it has like a very like, it's creepy. It's like kind of eerie with like the clowns and the witches and the evil laughs.
Yeah, and the anime isn't, crazy out there or anything. It's not like they've done anything special wise, but it's
just like a normal like anime style.
Yeah. And they don't even really get into, they don't really do chibi things, or they don't do any switches like that. So. And
the manga, is it different, or is it still like just like
yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah. It doesn't shy away from like uncomfortable moments, and sometimes it blurs the line between horror and just like fan service. Like we're just doing this because we know you'll like it type thing. Yeah. So like some of the monsters and the violence, it gets wild.
Yeah.
With the letting people in, like Claire had been the only person to ever get inside Shuichi, and then at one point they meet up with a group of people, and this girl, her power, like she talks to animals.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing so, she grew like cat ears and a tail.
Mm-hmm.
So she wears a helmet so people can't see her ears or anything when she's transformed. But they go looking for her wallet, and they come across some other hunters. So in order to try to survive, she climbs inside them.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, they're not clicking like him and Claire did.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. And they get, this big monster grabs them and like pretty much crushes them to death.
Yeah.
But when he does that, they like momentarily fuse together. So instead of it being like a mascot dog and a cat, it's like this weird demon cat looking thing.
Yeah.
That's even stronger. And it's like they both fused together and they defeat the monster.
Because Claire doesn't have powers, does she?
No, Claire doesn't have any power.
I mean, that might explain it a bit,
Yeah, she's just, her thing is she crawls inside him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's like she feels betrayed when she finds out that he got inside. It's like, well, you've only been with me inside you, and now there's that. It is pretty violent. There's some themes of suicide and language, so it's definitely not a kids show. You don't want to watch it with your kids, but I figure, hear about a different anime that they don't have to watch with their kids, I'll throw some in there.
It's not like the ones where it's like, hey guys, we have to use our magical powers to save the princess type of anime. I don't like those anymore.
Yeah.
Those annoy me. I mean, Sailor Moon's different though.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of them that are, all ages type things, but I'll throw some in. Like, I've done Samurai Champloo. I would suggest if you were going to watch it with an older kid, Samurai Champloo is probably more so than Gleipnir. Gleipnir is older teen. The action scenes are pretty crazy, and like I said, the body horror, so the grotesque transformations on when they change in, and like the transformations and things, and the monsters do have a style. Like I mentioned how it was like they looked like Titans, which I think it's just in your head you see them that way, whereas actually you don't. They're not like anything else. Like the monsters do look specific to this anime. Like you don't see these like, Oni or something that look like oh, that looks like something I've seen before. But
it's like you say that and you're like a titan, but it's not like a titan. I'm like, then what is it?
Exactly.
I like picture colossal titans and like the female titan. I'm like, if it's not those, then what is it?
The anime only covers like 45 chapters of the manga. It does rush through important moments. So I feel like if you were to have never read the manga,
yeah,
honestly, I don't think you would really like the anime that much because it would feel like it's left you hanging. Whereas if you had at least read the books, you kind of know, and even when it ends, you realize what's going to happen because the manga goes quite a bit further. And
how many chapters are there in the manga? Or like, do you know how many books there are?
I think there's a total of like 8 or 9 books.
Oh,
and I think there's
many.
like, I can't remember how many chapters are in each one though.
There's not very many chapters within books though.
They leave a lot of questions unanswered in the anime, whereas the book gets wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending of the anime is left open, and I think they kind of meant for it that way since they weren't getting a new season. It was kind of like hey, here's what do you think happened? Whereas the manga wraps it up in a nice little bow and leaves you satisfied at least.
Yeah.
It's, well, like I said, the story with the Claire and her sister, and then you find out some other people in their group friends that they, for most of the series, they don't even remember, come back, and one of them has actually got 100 coins, so you kind of realize what's happening, and it's not just that they become special, it's they've become the next step in human evolution because they've fused with these aliens.
So every time you get a coin, can you make a different wish or do you just become stronger on that one?
Yeah, you can actually, I think it might change between the two. Like it's one coin, you get a special power, and then when you collect 100, you get your next one. Some of them, like you get stronger if you just get more of them.
Yeah.
I found this anime. I actually don't remember how I came across it. I think I was looking at anime to download.
Yeah.
And came across it and didn't really know what it was. It was either that or we were at the Ruiz branch and I was looking at the anime and
manga.
Manga, and saw it and downloaded it that way. Either way, like I said, I randomly came across it and I really liked it, and most people that I've talked to have never even heard of it, and it's one of those,
I didn't hear of it until, because when we all had the same Crunchyroll account, because we hadn't set up separate ones yet, and I opened up yours because I was watching like Jujutsu Kaisen or something. I was like, what the heck is this animal? I was like, that was this Gleipnir.
Yeah.
So it's an older anime. I'm like, oh, whatevs.
Like when I got the manga, I read through them pretty fast.
Yeah.
The anime, I got like halfway through because I think there's only like 8 episodes or something. There's not a lot of episodes, and I got like halfway through and kind of stopped and just decided to watch something else. And then if you're into something different, I highly recommend finding the manga. I mean, once you read the manga, if you want to watch the anime and compare, you can, but I wouldn't really like push for the anime.
Yeah.
That about wraps up, me talking about Gleipnir. We usually do this at the beginning of the episode, but I forgot. But have you been watching anything new recently?
I started rewatching Sailor Moon because on Pinterest I saw a thing that said every time she cries, trips, Tuxedo Mask shows up, they transform or they make a Sailor V reference. You have to do 5 squats, and like I've done like over 100 already.
You shouldn't forget leg day. Leg day is important, so I guess
Sailor Moon is
I guess
killing
with
me.
Sailor Moon, every day is leg day.
Yeah.
I've been watching an anime that I saw one episode of when we went to the Anamanga convention at the library, which I know we watched The Devil is a Part-Timer there, but no, we watched one episode, and it's Cells at Work.
Oh, I've heard of that. It's on Netflix. That's why I've probably heard of it.
Yeah, I think I'm watching it on Hulu.
Yeah. What's it about?
A red blood cell and a white blood cell inside the body, except they're all human, and they have, like, the platelets are little children, and the white blood cells are, like, military guys that kill infections and, like, all them monsters.
Oh, that's so cute.
It reminds me kind of if you've ever seen the cartoon Osmosis Jones.
No.
He's a white blood cell trying to fight this crazy virus that's in the body. And it's like a whole world, but every episode is like something that happens to the body and how the body fixes it.
Mm-hmm.
So like watching it, you actually learn how the body responds to things. Like they had a scratch to where like the skin got punctured. And so like in the city, like a huge hole just opened up in the city and the platelets had to come and like put this net over it. And then all the red blood cells were stuck to it. And kind of like clotting. And they explain that the main red blood cell character, like she's always like carrying nutrients or oxygen places. So she has these boxes that she's having to take somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And she's always getting lost.
Oh my gosh.
So I like it. It's a pretty good anime.
So it's like that and Dr. Stone, like two of the like most educational animes, I guess.
Yeah. And I haven't gotten very far in it. I've just watched a couple of episodes because I've watched some other things too. Like I finished up Death Note. So, but it was one of those that I saw and was like, I think I'm going to try to see how this goes. So it's entertaining. Like it's kind of funny. Just the way you see how they represent certain things in the body and like all the viruses look like big monsters or kaiju.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that seems a bit strange. I'm going to go back to watching some Young Sheldon now.
I recommend it if you want something because even though it's educational, it falls under just as a normal anime as well.
Yeah.
So now we're going to take a quick
ad break.
That's what I was trying to think of there.
Yep.
And then we'll come back and we're going to do the quiz. So we'll see you in just a minute.
Hey fellow anime fans, it's Dexi. If you're loving Weeb and a Half and want to help support the show, you should totally check out our Patreon. Not only will you be helping us keep the podcast going, but you'll also get some awesome perks like bonus episodes, access to the Discord, and even a shout out in an episode. Basically, you'll get more anime talk, more laughs, and maybe even more of Dad's terrible takes. Trust me, it's worth it. So if you want to join our little anime family and get some exclusive goodies, head over to patreon.com/weebandahalf and check it out. Thanks for the support, and as always, stay weeby.
All right, we're back, and it's quiz time. So we're going to do a quiz based off of Gleipnir, and what it's called is mascot or monster. And what that means is I'm going to give you a character, and you might not know, and if you don't know, it's perfectly fine. But you're going to have to guess, is it a mascot, which means is it a little helpless creature that everyone loves on the show, kind of like the cats on Monster Hunter? Or is it a bad guy? Is it a monster?
Yeah.
So the first one, it's Monokuma from Danganronpa.
Oh, I had a friend that watched this. Mascot?
It's a cuddly, half black, half white bear who oversees a high skates killing game. So do you think he's just a quirky mascot, or is it more sinister?
I don't know.
But we haven't seen it, so there we go. Here's one that, see if you remember this, because I know you've watched it, but Kyuubi.
From the one with the long name.
From Madoka Magica.
Yeah. It's a good guy. She's super cute.
A small cat-like creature that grants wishes to magical girls. But the question is, does he have hidden motives? Because what happens when he grants them the wishes?
Don't they have to, like, become magical girls and do all that stuff?
And eventually are going to die.
Yeah, because I remember there's a character that died and I was, like, in my room just, like, sobbing. It's like, this anime is too sad to be a magical girl anime.
It is a very sad one, but I highly recommend it.
Because, like, I heard of Sailor Moon. I was like, okay, it's another magical anime. It can be just like Sailor Moon. And no, it's not.
Yeah, I might have to rewatch that because that would be a good one to do.
It's creepy.
But yeah, and also I guess really with this quiz it is more of a whole like subjective thing. You don't have it's not
it's an opinion.
Yeah. Opens it up for conversation, which I don't think I know you haven't, but this is Teddy from Persona 4 and he's a big huggable bear costume who cracks jokes. But no one really knows what's inside the suit. So is he a harmless mascot or is he hiding something darker? And I've actually not finished Persona 4. I played some of that, but I couldn't tell you. So, and also if you know any of these and you have an opinion, feel free to contact us and email us, and we'll, bring it up in a future episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And here's one that I'm sure you'll get.
Yeah.
Beppo.
What's it from?
One Piece.
Oh, God.
A fluffy talking polar bear who's part of the Heart Pirates.
Wait, Heart Pirates.
Have you not gotten that far yet?
No, the series is too long. Wait, Heart Pirates.
Is he just an adorable crew member, or does he have a monstrous side?
I don't know. I can't answer it.
Speaking of One Piece, one of the guys I work with, he said he's been rewatching One Piece.
Rewatching. My friends are like, yeah, I've already gotten to Egghead. What about you? Like, I'm on Little Garden. And they're like, what? I'm like, Little Garden. They're like, you're like episode 70. I'm like, I know.
All right, and here's the last one. Just throwing this out there. The Moke.
Okay. They're cute and they're adorable and they like candy and they'll steal your stuff. But they tried to kill Hanako and like they'll drown, like they'll do anything for candy. So it's like scary. I don't like, they're adorable and I want one as a pet, but no.
Yeah, it has these small, round, bunny-like creatures seem harmless, but are they truly innocent spirits?
They tried to turn Mitsuba into a moke, and then Nene had a dream that she had to become a moke. So, no.
And for a bonus one here, have you ever seen Pandora Hearts?
What?
Or heard of it? The show Pandora Hearts?
No.
Okay, neither have I. So, but apparently Cheshire, it's a grinning cat-like creature with sharp claws and a mysterious past, so I'm guessing it's kind of like trying to be the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we have on the quiz there. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up real quick before we do the outro?
I don't think so.
All right, and what episode are you planning on doing next week?
Sign of Affection.
Okay, so we're going to be back here next week for Sign of Affection. And if you like the podcast, go over to patreon.com/weebandahalf and become a member and pick up the perks there.
And our email is weebandahalfpodcast@gmail.com.
So if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to hit us up. We would love it if you subscribe to us on wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or any of those, we're there. So just go ahead and subscribe to us there, and we highly appreciate it. So with that, that's a wrap on today's episode of Weeb and a Half, and thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, whether you're a hardcore weeb or just here for the fun, we're all family. I've been Blake.
And I'm Dexi.
And catch you next time, and stay weeby.
Bye-bye.